right. Let's do it like this here. Let me open up and with this here 15. We are live. We are live. Greetings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Hakia me here, the success scholar, Honorable One Asafo. It's a beautiful day. Currently it's Sunday afternoon, and you see the title of this broadcast. Is Hopefully, we'll get into some of this discussion. As I put out the promotional piece for this, many people sort of, uh, sort of wanted to know why I would be as direct as I would. But let me just, open and say first and foremost, of course, as in the title, it says many, not, I didn't want to label anybody, but, over the past week and a half or so, I just saw some things that I believe have gotten out of line, and I thought that it needed to be addressed by myself. The first uh, topic, not necessarily topic, but as you see in the title, I say Dr. Umar Johnson and some members of the Nation of Islam promote violence, but being petty, irresponsible, and illogical in the Will Smith incident. Now, uh, I think the reason, first and foremost, why I decided to, just really, rev this thing up, and I'm definitely going to put my little tags in this video, and hopefully people will watch it more. And of course, it doesn't matter to me because I'm doing relevant work, and I feel that I'm uniquely qualified with my unique experiences and work and track record. And I would have hoped that when I attempted to articulate some of my challenges or my questions, that people would, I tried to appeal to people's reason, but some NOI members did not respect my positions. So let's see. First, who said something first? First I saw something. I don't. Well, yeah. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was Baba Khalifa Muhammad, but he's a brother out of Richmond, and I don't know if he the one that posted, but he posted something about Will and Jada giving $150,000 to the Justice of Else rally, and I just sort of slightly went in on his page, and he sort of backtracked, right? I mean, and other people applauded my position because my position was very mature, responsible, and with deep experience and understanding of the pros and cons, the laws of karma, and as well as reward and punishment, or just knowing how to properly engage, right? The rules of engagement for humanity and for people that are trying to survive here in this global system of racism, white supremacy. And so I felt that that was the first incident where somebody posted something about Will and Jada, and of course a few people liked it or whatever. So I just feel like that the propaganda machine was going in a particular direction. And then I saw Richard Muhammad post something, and I'm gonna introduce my co host here. We're gonna ride some things out in a minute, but I saw Richard Muhammad saying "Black men for Will Smith." Black Men for Will Smith. And before I say that, the book that I was holding up, just so people can know, down the Success Scholar, and I have a little bit more understanding, culturally, historically, and economically and politically than most Black people here on the planet. So I do study a little bit of everything. So not to be taken lightly with any so-called scholar, so-called thinker, so-called organization in the history. I believe that my work, uh, as well as my position and that of my allies, and many may not be as aware, one as astute as I am personally, and so but I try to fit in different types of teachings. But this book is the secret relationship between blacks and Jews, how Jews gain control of the black American economy. And I just put that out there for those that have read it. I just put that out there for the context of the Nation of Islam members that may view this, and I'm gonna make it plain for you, as Malcolm would say, as Elijah Muhammad taught, because I was taught, in my studies of the Nation of Islam. I had many. I haven't been necessarily a member per se, but the brother that's on. I'm not sure, he may say he was a member, but we both can speak, in our experiences towards that. But I wanted to show that book because I wanted to come and bring what the messenger would have taught about this. But and I didn't bring out the message to the black man. But so I saw Richard Muhammad. He's the editor of the Final Call. He said, "Black man, go black man," or yeah, disrespect is disrespect. So I didn't say, I said a little some. I went back and forth like one time, and then some other guy came on that was like, he started questioning me personally, and I just thought that it was way off. It was way disrespectful, and I said, I'm done. I'm not going to say anything else because I know when you are right, you don't argue with fools, and I just can't believe that some members of the Nation of Islam are actual 85ers, like dumb, deaf, and blind, just on the surface. They don't. I mean, I don't know if they really think of this. They're taking Elijah Muhammad's, the Malcolm X philosophy literally, and that cannot be done. And I'm going to prove that in many different ways. Why you cannot just go around like you some damn Superman, talking about protecting all black women anytime, always. Like that's not logical. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen? You're gonna have a lot of dead in jail, hurt up black men listening to these
Right.
irresponsible, immature black men. But the final thing, and I'm gonna show this clip, brother, and I'm gonna come right to you. I promise. Thank you for that. I'm gonna show this clip. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna share screen, and I want to show this woman, and this what made me put me off the line. I'll share my post that I did on it. So this is a Nation of Islam rapping sister. I don't know. That's oxymoronic, and what the messenger would actually stand for, but it just go to show how far they've been secularized. How far they've allowed for many 85ers who may be, they may be, upstanding people, but they aren't that sophisticated. So they use the Nation of Islam, brand for clout chasing. And so let me share this little quick clip, and let me know if you can hear this, brother.
There's no trophy more valuable than a man's wife. You say protect black women, but he ain't do it right. So now there's rules. I'm Dr. Seuss. The place is always right. On a stage, at the school, at the job, in a pool. You think it's just about a joke, then you need better sight. There's people fed up, and us enough, it's on sight. Moving clean his whole career, been taking jabs left and right. Kept it moving, kept it tight. You want to keep him meek and nice now. Protection is not just from physical harm. It's mental, psychological. Yes, sound the alarm. Cause y'all gonna stop playing so much. You don't know what people going through. You want black love, as long as it's not radical. Chris Rock been off cold for a while. When black people boycott, he laughs at us. Wow, and all these hypotheticals, y'all reach and let it go. Yes, dignity's worth a fight. Love will make you go to blows. You watch slap after slap on Real Housewives, but let a man stand for his right. Now you traumatized. They're trying to make Will Smith the face of violence, but mention Breonna Taylor's killers, and it's silence. There's no trophy more valuable than a man's wife. You say protect black women, but he ain't do it right. So now there's rules. I'm Dr. Seuss. The place is always right. On a stage, at the school, at the job, in a pool. You think it's just about a joke, then you need that.
All right. Can you hear me, brother? Brother Ace.
Yes,
So
I hear you, brother.
All right, so I have my brother, the Black Order podcast on. Um, thank you, brother, for joining me here.
Yes,
Appreciate your
thanks,
time.
bro.
Let me bring this up. All right, hold on. Yeah, okay. All right, we can go like that. All right. So yeah, brother. So and we're going to talk about Umar as well. Whichever one you want to lead with, brother. I
Man,
took
that's
down
a
some
hilarious
notes.
video. They got Easy E beat in the background. That's some
Yeah,
cloud
just
chasing.
secular, just
Man, that's
worldly.
crazy.
You worldly. Elijah Muhammad, he talked about this and this is for let me just there are other Elijah Muhammad followers out there other than members of Farrakhan, um, who recognize that Elijah Muhammad, he didn't want black people to be too far into sport and play. So when y'all start protecting both, Chris Rock and Will Smith, or being so close in that space, you become nothing but a Negro, someone that Elijah Muhammad tried to save. So go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Add on, brother.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I don't know, man. They just it need to restructure. They need to reinvent themselves. Not playing an Easy E beat talking all about protecting Jada. Like, come on, like protecting what? You protecting somebody? You know what I'm saying? It's a picture they showed of Elijah Muhammad was showing the black woman get up and stand up and do for self, and she was
Mm.
dressed in full clothes or she was acting appropriately. Jada don't represent nothing acting appropriately in right now what she's been doing. So I don't think Elijah Muhammad or Farrakhan or anyone who really have a belief system understand that sending your man off to war and bad behavior is not a mentally healthy thing. And
Mm.
she has denounced him many times in the public opinion. She has got the public opinion to throw him under the bus. I mean, just recently, just last night, she started popping up at the rewards and showing up for friends and stuff.
Say that
You
again.
know, she already showing up to people's rewards and stuff. I was just looking at it on TMZ today.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
she said she didn't care. She said she didn't want to marry him. She wasn't attracted to him. So I don't know why
Hmm.
we're promoting that behavior. We shouldn't be teaching men to chase and act like a fool for women who don't love them and respect them and cherish them. That's
Right.
not appropriate. And it's creating a mental illness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. No, no, no. I definitely appreciate
Yeah,
that. So
names
let
are
me.
grabbing me. Names are grabbing me or whatever. I'm gonna look. She just she just popped up recently with them taking pictures with Samuel Jackson and them. Will Smith wasn't near, so I was just like, wow. So she's always been about doing herself and trying to ruin him in the same sense and ruin his money. Now his movies are all stopped. He can't get in the 3, 4 movies he was going to come out. I mean, this is a man that's really he's a $3 million, $4 million Hollywood man. He can get any
Mm.
woman on this planet and say, "Hey, I'm Will Smith." Now it's just, man, I don't know, man. It's a lot of bad behavior behind who's pulling the strings. And I don't even know what the nation is representing Jada for because do they even see the whole psychological, like the pathology of this behavior or what this girl
Mm.
lady was doing?
Well, the strange thing now is, and I don't know if it's true. I didn't see the
Well, it
actual
said
video.
because I might know the story.
Yeah. But she apparently said that. Hold on. Let me try to close something. Let me see something.
She
She
did say she
apparently said.
didn't.
She apparently said that she didn't want him to do that. I'm not sure if that's
Yeah, she
authenticated
said that.
or.
She said she didn't tell him to defend her and she don't need no protection. She didn't tell him to go hit Chris Rock. So she's already covered herself and threw him under the bus. So it made it even worse.
Right.
She should have painted him
Right.
the victim, and that would have like gave him some more protection. But she don't care. I mean, she's operating off of narcissist psychopath behavior.
Hmm. Yeah. Um. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So with her saying that. I'm like, so, and Will obviously made an apology and you know, see, and that's what I'm saying with these Nation of Islams and Umar Johnson, and I'm not one to call people pro-black because, like, you know what I'm saying, but and not
Right.
that they're the only ones that are, way off, irresponsible, illogical, and petty with this, but I'd say that most sensible people on many different political aisles, many different racial aisles, racial dynamics, different class levels. Nobody's running around teaching this. Now, and this is how I shut some of the NOI members down. And again, I say many or some. I'm not saying all. Not that they saying posting on on the front cover of the Final Call saying Will did it for black men. But when you have the editor of the Final Call that's posting that, a very influential, high-ranking member of the NOI, the face of the Final Call newspaper in many ways, outside of Farrakhan, is the editor of the Final Call that is getting, much praise. You know what I'm saying? He gets the stature for being the editor of the Final Call. So my question and how I went in to to balance this out, I said Scientology. Now there are many debates, and I never, I mean,
Yeah, it's
I
a
never
lot.
like
It's
went that
different
far.
levels of it. Rizza Islam is part of Scientology too, but he tried to say he wasn't.
Right? No, absolutely no. His family was a high promoter of Scientology, and my understanding is that, hold on, I'm gonna come out and come back in, brother, because I'm getting an echo. Let me see something. I'll be right back. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, that's perfect. Okay, I'm still getting an echo.
Yeah, man, it's all
Oh,
about self-development.
yeah.
Yeah,
Echo
yeah, it's
cancellation.
all about. See, Scientologists has been hypocrites over the years, and we all know the Scientology owner or director or developer. He was known for. He was known as a supremacist. So I don't know like how now he's giving like advice and science advice for people.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I think I did something wrong. Okay, hold up. Yeah, right. No, definitely. I appreciate that. And so, what I basically know about Scientology is something to the effect that your previous traumas, they supposed to somehow awaken them, or they got some scientific word that they use, extropulate. I don't know, but because I never really paid that much significant, attention, because I mean, my thing is, how can you go from the supreme wisdom and supreme mathematics? Mathematics is the highest level of knowledge in the universe, and you master the 120, and you still aren't able to have a level of refinement, right? Uh, so you went into Scientology to get the tool, as the minister says, to get the tool of the so the Dianetics tool. Let me go back in my memory. The diabetics tool, Dianetics tool to deprogram or to heal, whatever the words they use. And I'm like, these things cost money, right? So I'm just like, if Scientology is like the, some reputable, respectable healing modality that can heal black people, and obviously Will Smith, and I don't know how deep he's into that, but my understanding he may have had some affiliations. But I'm just like, so his trauma with his $250 million hasn't been healed, right? You still on me, bro? Somehow you muted. Let me unmute you. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, man. So like the thing is, see, man, it's so much politics with this stuff, man. It's so many places we can go with them. See, I never fit into the Scientology, but I know of them. But I was always questioning about them because I heard so many stories with them, and then I seen when RZA came out and he said he was Scientologist and he became Nation. I feel like that was going to confuse a lot of people. And Scientology is supposed to help your mental pain or trauma. And so if it did, then why Will Smith is still suffering with trauma? Or is it just some like donation and money and he's not really a part of it? So it's a lot. So that's what I'm saying. It's so much with it. We'll never get to the root of it because there's so much underhanded things going on.
Right. Wow. Well, no, this makes me think, and you can see what I posted in the next area, Black women loving thugs. That's been a significant challenge.
Yeah.
Add on to
I mean,
that.
a lot of people just don't know, and it's a bigger issue to this. And truthfully, it just shows you a lot of hypocrisy, man, the hypocrite. I just really hope, a lot of people don't follow the foolishness and, the blind leading the blind.
Right. Yeah, no. So looking at that, when we look at history, and let me just go ahead and read my comment that I posted. Let me find it.
All right.
Okay. So this is what I posted. It's only because Will and Jada gave money to the Justice of Else rally. Are many NOI members supporting this?
Interesting. Right.
And 150 million, 150,000. Wow. Now, I said during Ramadan, this was before I was talking about this video. I said they've been compromised and their conscience have been bought and paid for. And this is a misrepresentation of Elijah Muhammad. He didn't mean to be a savage and attack black people. And I said, so much for Scientology civilizing us and removing deep traumas. I said, now more black men are going to go to jail and kill each other over silly jokes for so-called disrespect. And I said so-called disrespect, brother, because, I mean, the woman, and I just heard this, she just said it like 3 months ago that she had alopecia. Yeah, 3 months ago that she had it. So ain't nobody paying y'all that much attention. But when you are in Hollywood, you think you are the center of all attention. You see what I'm saying, brother?
You know what, bro? The sad things with a lot of with Hollywood is I wanted to echo. So yeah, it's follow the trail, the money. It's more to that. And I'm glad you ciphered that because I didn't even know that, bro. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah. And I said, now the NOI. Hold on, let me see.
There's echo. Let me pause mine.
Yeah, let me try. Yeah, that echo is on your side. Oh, okay. Well, let me see. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Now more black men are going to go to jail or kill each other over silly jokes and so-called disrespect. Now the NOI can recruit black men in jail that don't use good emotional intelligence. That's the conversation that need to have. Is this an emotionally intelligent decision that I'm making? Is it going to preserve my life, freedom, or future economic opportunity? Now, let's dissect this. And surprisingly, I mean, not to say surprisingly, but Boyce Watkins has been, I mean, I give him credit when he, does uh, some of the right analysis. So just to so-called uphold your perceived manhood, right? You're gonna lose $100 million possibly or more uh, due to something as petty. Yes, I'm gonna call it petty. And I know some people got some little, if you insecure as a man, as somebody who was on 6 Degrees of Separation, the film that Will Smith was on, where he, had to be naked in bed with a white man. Of course, he may feel a little insecure about his manhood in Hollywood, as well as, knowing that, your wife is, I ain't gonna say, I'm trying to be respectful in my language, but
Nah, you good, bro. You keeping it conservative. Well, that movie say a lot, so we don't really know what Jada got dirt on him. Because there's more to the story about why he having an outburst.
right,
And like Eddie Griffin said that no guy leaves Hollywood or a brother leaves Hollywood in peace without having a bad name or a bad rap. So I'm just looking at all this as ritualistic, as weird. And it happened at a weird time because a lot of people seen it as fake too, because at the time it happened, a lot of other scandals and things was taking part in the world, with the Democratic Party. So it's like that's been the biggest discussion ever since politics. They even had a poll hearing on Yahoo on Will. You know, Why they making Will and Kanye to be monsters on the planet, they making Pete Davidson be a hero. So this is a lot, man. This is definitely a lot, man. I like you said, the money trail, the way it goes. And man, and I know I'm gonna go there because I know we ain't gonna be long today on that, but going on Umar Johnson, man, teaching guys to be super simps. Um, it's worse. That's worse than being what I'm saying, it's a degenerate because you're going over hitting somebody, you fight somebody, you can lose your life, you can go to jail, you can get charges pressed against them. So I wouldn't understand why the nation or even, what I'm saying, Umar will push that protecting the queen. Why should you protect any woman who's disrespecting you or disobedient to your household or publicly shaming you in front of the masses? There's
right.
nothing there's nothing, respectful about that. She don't respect the guy at all. And I think it's wrong. I think he should leave her because now she's messed up his money while she's
Mm,
still rolling in Hollywood doing what she wants. And then she threw him up under the bus like at least 3 times. And then he, for her 40th birthday, he spent $1 million on her birthday. He bought Mary J. Blige out. He bought a million. He gave her $1 million birthday party. She said it was dumb. Hey, any woman tell me that I'm dumb for spending $1 million for her birthday, I'm leaving her right where she at for the streets. That she shall return.
wow.
And even Farrakhan wouldn't agree with that. He would be like, nah, no man, a God should not deal with no disrespect in his home. When Farrakhan used to kick them lectures back in the day on love and duty, he was saying that the woman should uphold her man with peace and bring him
Mm,
like a salvation that no other can, dealing with this white supremacist society. So psychologically, I'm not co-signing protecting Jada on nothing. Jada slept with her son's best friend and made it publicly on the red table for a discussion. She
right.
publicly let her son wear a dress. She publicly let her daughter be in bed with older men. So
Mm,
and so she made her family to be a circus. She publicly
mm.
made it known that she has orgasms off of Tupac's poetry. She
Wow.
publicly let it be known that her daughter write songs and poetry to Tupac. You
Right.
see, that's abuse. That's psychological abuse, and that's publicly someone's wife is doing that publicly and showing this to everything. So yeah, man, I can't co-sign her on that, and people need to not listen to, Umar giving that bad advice. It's a lot of Dusties that was giving that type of bad advice. Pan-African, non-Pan-African, some,
Mhm.
a lot of, different groups and organizations. I advise nobody to walk up to nobody and go in and hit somebody in the face because it can cost you. Are these people going to bail you out? Are these people going to get you out of trouble? And the
Right.
outcome is, if you hit an OG might shoot you.
Yeah.
Somebody.
No. Yeah. Instant.
Yeah.
If you give me, brother. I'm sorry. Yeah. Instant. One of the comedians like said that he made a joke about it. Like,
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
all
Look.
right.
Yeah, look,
You shoot me,
look.
you slap me. Well, I'm gonna shoot your ass. He was joking, but it just, but he said, let's take it to, let's be real ends about it. Let's really do what ends do,
Yeah, the cut boy.
and let's start shooting each other. So my thought is, how can a someone that has a doctorate degree in psychology and who has studied both Elijah Muhammad and trying to refine black men, and Amos Wilson, who wrote Black on Black Violence in Service of White Domination. And this is what I've been, over the past couple of days, I've been sharing Dr. Amos Wilson's book because, I mean, I know people don't read like that for real, and they don't really understand how this promotes uh, racism, white supremacy on a larger level than what you some feelings of disrespect. So I'm disturbed that Umar Johnson, in his simpism, as well as the Nation of Islam, both, I mean, and I don't know if they are total simps
They
all
Sims,
of the
bro.
time.
They Sims, bro.
Yeah,
They no queens. That's no queen, bro. They giving bad advice under the instructions of knowledge and consciousness. That's wrong.
dangerous, dangerous advice.
Elijah Muhammad never
And
taught that.
yeah, and I don't know how there's some, and in Baltimore they walk around the streets all day, every day, telling people to put down the gun, stop shooting. Some brothers in the nation, and I'm just like, how you gonna, walk around the streets of Baltimore and people are stabbing, shooting, fighting with bats every damn day, for smaller, more pettier things than this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what's petty. I don't care, how people want to do it. And me and you, we doing this, and I know some people saying, why y'all still talking about this? I'm like, I just saw this sister's video, and it got 1 million views on Source, on in the Source magazine. And Source magazine, um, they are the same ones. Then they small hats. Let me get my PKV irritated genie. Small hats. They actually was the ones years ago. And this is where I've been going to a lot of different lectures over the years, and Brother Griff, and the Source magazine is the ones that pumped up the Biggie Smalls, Tupac, East Coast, West Coast beef. So if, for instance, when you have infiltrators that can get 1 million views, like this sister got 1 million views in Source magazine. Why? Why? What the hell she say? All she said was she respect black men, and yeah, you better protect, you better take up for me, you better. And this is how young brothers end up in prison, because these silly women that perhaps are doing silly things do not understand cause and effect, right? and they don't understand that there's a cost for being black in this
Correct.
society, and sometimes men don't necessarily know how to respond because we're used to our manhood being questioned, right?
Of
And
course,
some men,
and
right?
what you're saying is point. Like we look at Chicago, uh, most of the killings in the community has been over a response over emotions, killing someone without having a discussion, and a lot of it, 80% of the killings, even Farrakhan said it, has been over a woman or being provoked by a woman. You know, people want to entice or impress the woman to show that they're about that life, or they are Pookie or Ray Ray, and they go hurt another man's life. So it's the same similar energy. So that energy
Mm,
should not be pushed because it can lead, destruction down the line.
mm, wow.
Because then you'll have people don't want to talk. Because like already I've seen other groups walking up hitting people. They call it getting Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, Royce Watkins was saying something. I was like, somebody need to Will Smith you because you projected this crap for a long time calling them queens, but these women are causing dangerous harm. It's a lot of men in jail and dead because of females.
Mm.
And I wouldn't give nobody advice to walk up and just hit somebody in the face because it's always a
Sucker punch. It's
consequence
called,
for it.
yeah, it's called a sucker punch, a
A
sneak
sucker
attack.
punch.
Yeah, sneak attack. Yeah, I mean that's what it was. He was. That's not a manly trait to walk. I mean, what kind of? I mean, like who told these people to do this? To say this is okay to just walk around and slap people, sneaking punch. In Baltimore. I don't know where these people from, but that's considered a punk move. You know what I'm saying? You don't
It
walk up
is.
to people and sneak punch them. Nowhere I mean, there are video clips of like, they had a little young, they do these little, what they call challenges. Remember they did the sucker punch challenge? I didn't see the Nation of Islam saying nothing about that. Now they
But
could
I
say,
remember that, yeah.
yeah, they could say, yeah, I'm gonna come back and you disrespected me. Or is it just y'all just trying to support Will Smith because y'all can see that he's about to fall, and sometimes you can like capture a little bit of money, on his downfall. And that's why I saw the brother doing the
Of
hundred
course
fifty
it
thousand
is.
dollars,
Like
posting that
PR
he
work.
gave money $150,000 to the Justice or Else thing. I'm like, so y'all conscious is bought and paid for? Elijah Muhammad wouldn't, be that desperate for attention. And so that's why you have, like I said, Nation of Islam infiltrators. And I was looking for this book that talked about that. What's the name of it? Um, but it talked about the 19 FBI war, not the FBI war on Black America, but that's one. The FBI war, agents of repression. I figure out who the author is, but he talked about how, and this is a white, I believe, indigenous, not white, but indigenous man. It's not Noam Chomsky, but he talked about how the FBI watched the Nation of Islam, and they had more infiltrators even than the Klan and every civil rights group. So you have people, and some they may not be necessarily be infiltrators, but they're opportunists. They're opportunists. They're clout chasers, and that made me think about how you've been evaluating Rizza Islam over the years. They're not really sincere, for instance, about Elijah Muhammad's teachings, but they see it as a brand, as something. And I give you this example, and I'll let you say something. Some years ago, when the brother was trying to, I'll say his name, Lal Muhammad, years ago before he left Baltimore, he was trying to talk to me and coach me into joining the Nation of Islam. And his thing was, yeah, brother, I can do more things now on a bigger scale being a part of the Nation of Islam than I could outside. So they use it as like a come up. They may not necessarily be sincere, but they just, it's like a Coca-Cola. Like I can go work for a Coca-Cola company and get some career advancement by using the perceived good image, the perceived brand clout that they have in the community. But I'm just pushing this out today because it's this part is really disturbing. It's petty. It's illogical, and it's irresponsible for them to just promote black on black violence in service of white domination in support of white supremacy. Over this particular issue, this it's a little thin line, but it's not much. I'd say it's about 90% Will Smith, 10% Chris Rock, if you want to get down to it, for real. Because but when you have groups that have been, infiltrated by Hollywood and controlled by Hollywood, although Farrakhan may be older, he don't necessarily have to respond. And let me just say, I don't know what Wesley Muhammad had to say about this, but I would hope that he's, has enough upstandingness about himself and he's connected and have the pulse of the people like myself and not condone and uplift this kind of misbehavior. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got a lot on my chest.
Yeah, bro, you right, bro. Like, brother, I'm trying to find out the minister now. I'm looking him up. He's half Iran and half black. He's the worst. He don't say nothing about them divestors, but when it comes to the brothers, he's another one teaching symbology, teaching bad behavior. The bad behavior stuff gotta stop, man. Because they're setting up, another group of young men to make bad decisions. And I don't know, man. It's not cool because people look up to them. They look up to them. I don't know what it's going to take, man. I would say, like you said, like you said, best than anybody. You know, you know, with this bad behavior, it can get a lot of guys in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they walk around all day long talking peace, but look what they teaching. His name is brother Minister Nibiru
Nuri.
Muhammad. Nuri Muhammad, yeah, Nuri Muhammad.
What about him? Yeah, he sounds like a sharp guy.
Yeah, one of the biggest simps ever. He went on a podcast recently and was saying that brothers don't defend sisters and brothers do the most outsourcing with women. But he never had nothing to say about divestors on Instagram. The divestor judge recently who let pedophiles on. He had nothing to say about divestors or making posts in New York Times about the best relationship goals for a black woman is to marry a white man. He had nothing about the divestors on YouTube talking about have mixed kids and marry white men and avoid black babies. He had nothing to say about them. So, and then he pushes the same narrative that we should be doing what Dr. Umar said we should do what Will Smith say. And I don't understand how these guys, push that type of behavior and they're setting up youth to get hurt, man. Because, you 17, 18-year-old, you like, oh, I'm going to do what Will Smith did. And might lose your life behind it. And that's a lot of men has lost their life behind walking up hitting a person in the face.
Yes.
They've been blown away.
Right.
Yeah. That's not something that, man, I don't know, man. That's pushing mentally dysfunction, man. And like you said, in the white supremacist society, that's black on black issues and crimes right there.
Right. And let me just, if I may, thank you, brother. To the brother, and I posted his comment. He said, "Really, we are discussing the stupidity of Will Smith. Does this reflect the state of African consciousness, or is this reactionary actions of the assimilated mind?" So, what I will say, brother, thank you, Lao Zhu. Um, what I will say to that, and I appreciate your comment. It's definitely an assimilated mind. I think many comedians are in actuality part of the global system of racism, white supremacy. I mean, there are definitely some conscious comedians, but ultimately, it's the reality of many Black people conditions is that we don't have time to be being clowns and comedians and hundreds of people going to watch these comedians tell, off the wall jokes. But ultimately, what we also have to recognize is that, Hollywood and uh, uh, is a part of the global mind control. If for me, having gone to Africa several times last year, and seeing how, for instance, black entertainers, sports, uh, not just sports, but more so the rappers, they have influence and clout. I'm in cars and Ubers and they listening to Jay-Z. Like that's who, so when they see this, they can't conceptualize. And so, and that, some people aren't intellectually and emotionally mature enough to be able to discern about when and where it's appropriate. And it's a complicated issue, but I'll say certainly not on television in front of half a billion people, maybe. I don't know how. I mean, probably like a billion people on the planet have seen it, and I'm sure the enemies of America, for instance, and the enemies of Black people will use it. So as well in their minds, if they are tactful, just know that some people out here are their goal is to destroy Black people. So just a heads up, I have this brother's book, Prince Justice, The Black World, Evolution to Revolution, just to do a sidebar promoting of that book, and one we have to deal with. And this is what I'm gonna keep hitting you with the teachings. And oh, wait a minute, the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. And I would hope, for instance, that all of the Nation of Islam members can go and revisit that, because you sound foolish, unless you're just so desperate for money that you're trying to support this. But I wanted to hold on, and if Nation of Islam members want to go protecting Black women, first they can protect the many Black mayors in Baltimore City and the state's attorney and all the others from Durham Muhammad in Baltimore. He's been on the radio disrespecting the Black mayors and everybody else. Not that you don't have a disagreement, but calling a Black woman a wench, not a big witch, but a wench, a hussy, heifer. They lipstick lesbians. They they tricks. They just all kind of things. They sleeping around like man. So I'm like, if you all want to go and see somebody, start with your former members, somebody that still carries the Muhammad name and disrespects Black women all day, every time he's on the radio. And he's done it consistently for 15, 20 years on the radio. So don't try to tell me or tell Black people, certainly in Baltimore, because everybody knows in Baltimore that he's gotten away with it. And no Black man, not a single, not these activists, have they said anything to him. They may have said something personal, but many of the old dusty radio people, they listen and they never check that. I mean, you can listen to somebody for some general knowledge, but I just wanted to add that for the Baltimore haters that may listen and be like, why are you talking about Umar? Why are you talking about? And I ain't even digging Umar yet, but you can go back and listen to my previous broadcast. But Umar Johnson, Simp of the Year, um, who is Simp of the Year has has
When a Daishiki simping.
right, right. So yeah, so and Umar Johnson, and there were a lot of people even on Umar page, but interestingly, let me just and Boyce Watkins, he did something unique here, and I know he's been a simp, on many occasions, and I don't use that word a lot, brother. I
Right.
try to, what I'm saying, I want to be very, proper when I use it. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I
I
get what
want
you're
it to
saying.
fit.
Moist twat.
'Cause
We
I know
call it. We call it. Don't get voice. Don't get moist. Moist Twatkins gave us Cynthia G, Paris Milan. He gave us Yvette Carnell. He gave us Michi X. He gave us all the four troublemakers that's on social media now, and they're causing havoc against the community. And he gave
but
us Zaza because he promoted Zaza too, who stole all
wow.
the money from black ladies doing yoga. So there you go. And that's why simps are dangerous. And the simps are the best friend of, I know I can't say that word, of the tutu train a person. You know, they're the best friend of and that's just how it works.
So let me just say what Boyce what he did, and this is what I mean. It was good, for educational purposes. He went down on Will Smith's actual YouTube page, and he read all of the comments. There wasn't that many people, for instance, that were, yeah, Will, you did it. Yeah, that's right, man. You go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm letting Umar, for instance, it's not always right to be in the so-called minority. You know what I'm saying? If you're just defending black men and defending the black woman, but you know, there's a balance to that because he wasn't first he wasn't defending her, and then the context is that he disrespected another black man. So I just wanted to throw, some of those things out there, but I just wanted to add, that's what Boyce did,
He
that
doing he did, and he paying for it now. And this is the consequence, because now who cares about them banning him for 10 years? I think we should have been had our own Oscars, but all his movies on Netflix are banned and Hulu, and he can't be in the three movies he was supposed to appear in. They gotta look for new people now for Suicide Squad, I'm Legend, and you know what I'm saying. It's just crazy. Suicide Squad, I'm Legend, and it's another one he's supposed to be in. So it's just, I don't know, man. It wasn't worth doing all that, and then she still threw him up under the bus. So he did all that for nothing, basically.
yeah, yeah, life is hard. It's even harder when you're stupid. So I just wanted to put it out there because you know, um, it's looking more and more like that. Um, the Nation of Islam is used as they have competing factions within it that are not necessarily good for the black community, and we have to stop upholding them like that. And I will be sure to intellectually battle. And if anybody would like to debate, if any Nation of Islam member would like to debate publicly, because I'm not having no conversations about this. Like this is, I mean, you can't defend that. And if Umar Johnson would like to debate, I know he doesn't think that he's on anybody's level. That's what he said one time, on his live. He's bigger than everybody, and so he doesn't have to debate anybody. Uh, but I would love to have that conversation, but let's do it public because I know I have the intellectual depth and the ammunition and self confidence, and I'm doing the work. And so this is, some people may be, why you minding other people business, or this is my business. Saving lives is my business, and y'all not connected. Y'all don't have the pulse of the people like me, and y'all not doing the real work on my level. So many of you are just giving information. I'm engaged in discussion and life-saving, life-giving activities on the streets. And yes, I know that many are not to take away in the general context, but some people will look at some of the things that people say and be like, well, it may not be in the conscious mind, it could be deep in the subconscious mind that they're gonna have to learn how to toughen up and be more men. But they ain't walking around in these streets, walking up on, dudes in the hood that's fighting women because they're gonna get stabbed and shot. And interesting, brother. Oh, no, no, no. Interesting that you mentioned that Nuri Muhammad, because there's a Vlad clip. I'm glad you mentioned him, where he said Nuri Muhammad, when he was in the projects in Indianapolis, he they were doing their foot patrols or whatever, and he said that he was breaking up a fight between a man and a woman, and the woman came out and like attacked him or something. And the NOI members, it's a Vlad clip. If I known you were gonna bring that up, I would have mentioned it or have it ready to queue up. But Nuri Muhammad got jumped in the projects, and he said he had a scar from all the way down around his face or something. And that was the first time that he met Farrakhan or something. I don't know if Farrakhan came in Indianapolis or what, but so here's the thing, and this is what I'm saying: when these black men are out here jumping into excursions, trying to be, Superman, trying to break up or protect the black women, because this is what that's a perfect example of why people should use some discernment. Nuri Muhammad could have almost got himself killed trying to, I guess, we gonna protect the black woman, huh? And all he would have for it is a damn tombstone and no respect, no respect. Everybody will forgot about him. You have to use good judgment when you out there. When you out there and you see different things going on in the streets. And I know this because I'm out there. And y'all may not understand, but I have training on this type of engagement, de-escalation tactics, calling for backup. You, these people think they got training. They don't have no damn training out here in these streets, and I know they don't. So you have to have good street judgment in emergency situations. So, but they don't have that kind of understanding. And I mean, some of them have some basic trainings, but obviously Nuri didn't have enough training where he getting his damn head split from here to here, whatever he said. But go ahead, brother, and I'm gonna get ready. I don't know what else you had, but I don't know if you saw that clip, but that's an interesting dynamic. But we
Yeah,
ain't gonna
man. We got to
prolong it.
just do it again, another part two. But with that, these guys give bad advice, goofiness, foolishness, and it's dangerous because people will listen to it and believe them. I laugh, I chuckle with them when they say the stuff they say because it's not. I deal with de-escalation at work. I teach that every Monday and Wednesday, but I just think it's bad. And the NOI is supposed to be what, one of the best securities, and they teaching that bad behavior, man, that's gonna cause problems. But that's just how it is, man. It's just one of them things is part of the politics of the space. But we're gonna see more in time, more women expose their true self and be who they
Right.
should be. Yeah. We're in the age of a whole different mentality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
on one chord, I see people who gonna talk, holler, speak, be friendly, network, but don't get discouraged. Focus on your goals.
Mm.
You know, because
Right.
goals now is over everything. That's why a lot of men are going MGTOWN.
Right.
Yeah. But I know we're gonna
Well,
end this segment soon. So love and peace to everybody in the chat and who listen with this discussion. Make sure you subscribe to my man's page, dropping jewels on the real game about what's going on in the conscious and enlightenment community.
All right, my brother. Thank you, everybody. Raising Consciousness and Capital on YouTube, Raising Consciousness and Capital on Facebook. So definitely stay tuned in. Stay tuned for the rise. And let's keep moving forward. Thank you, brother. We'll talk soon.
Peace.
Peace.